All right, well, it's day one. Review of day one's watches for the 100 horror films in 31 days. Got in 5 movies yesterday. Not bad. A couple short ones, though. First up, Val Lewton's classic, The Cat People. Simone Simon is just fantastic in this. I mean, she really looks and gives off this cat-like feeling, animalistic kind of feeling. I mean, without her, there wouldn't really be a movie. It's atmospheric and moody and dark and everything you've heard about. But it's at the end of the day, it's kind of tame, even by the standards of when I grew up. I would say the ending. I've seen this so many times, but the ending really works. I think the ending was great in it, and I give it a 7 out of 10. Next up, Curse of the Cat People, which came out. Curse of the Cat People came out like, I think 2 years after, maybe 3. So it has none of the attributes of the first film, other than it's black and white. This is more like a family drama, and I tell you, it loses its interest to me. The more I watch it with repeat viewings, the more I realize it's just there's really not. It doesn't really bring anything to the table. It's just a probably for the time it was just a cheap cash in of the first film, but there's nothing. It's basically the story of a family whose child is haunted by memories of Simone, kind of like a ghostly apparition type thing. I mean, it's not very. I don't think it's very good. I give it a 5 out of 10. But each time I watched it, the rating on it has dropped. And so, next up, Arrow release of Dressed to Kill 1980. Saw this in the theater when it came out. I'm going to tell you, when this first came out, people went nuts. Almost, really, because Angie Dickinson, who was a big star back then, she was in Policewoman and a bunch of other films. So when Brian De Palma, the director, did basically the same thing with Janet that Hitchcock did with Janet Leigh, it still had the same kind of reaction that I can imagine audiences when they first saw Psycho reacting to Janet Leigh getting offed. Michael Caine, great as the psychiatrist killer. It's a really, really good movie. It's stylish, as you would expect from a Brian De Palma film, and maybe overtly so, but I liked it. Now the ending is a little bit of a cheapo, I think. The ending, for some reason, this time kind of struck me as being a cheap cash out, but I don't know. I still think it's a really good film. I give it an 8 out of 10. This release has the director's cut, which has quite a bit of nudity in it. Next up is Flora, 2017. This is an indie film about an organism that inhabits plant life in nature. And terrorizes and ultimately kills off these botanists. The film's kind of set in 1929, or attempts to be set in 1929. I don't think that really worked. I mean, they play some music and records from the 20s, and that's about the extent of their attempt to make this thing. I don't know. I'm not sure why they picked 1929 to do it. I think they just should have done it in this current time period, but because they come off looking like and acting like they're in the current time period, but it's a small thing. I think the concept is very interesting in this film, but there's just not enough. I don't think there's enough meat on the bones to carry the story. After a while, it kind of gets okay. It just doesn't go anywhere, other than there's kills. People get killed off, but I don't know. It was okay. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. And then finally, last but not least, the director's cut of Life Force, Tobe Hooper's 1985 vampire film. I love this film. The best breasts in movie history, bar none. Um, this is a great movie. Even without the breasts and that beautiful space vampire that walks around naked for half the film. I love the storyline. I love the special effects. It's just a fun, interesting take on an interesting combination of vampire mythos and aliens. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know why people give this so much hate or make accusations that Tobe Hooper is kind of a one and done director. He did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that was his only and best film. I mean, this is a really good film. It may not be a film that you enjoy. Some people just don't like the sci-fi aspects of it, but it's still a great film. Funhouse. I mean, he's done some good stuff. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's a little long, 2 hours, but I still give it an 8 out of 10. Life Force. All right, that will wrap up day one. Appreciate you watching.